we're live.
Want to study in the USA? There are 5 steps may have your attention. Education USA, your official source on US higher education.
Well, your advisors are here to make the process clear. Get the 5-step finish application square. Hey, and get your ear to there. Our centers are free in every study. Find a center near you in your country.
Education USA, your official source on US higher education.
Welcome everybody that is attend us in these informative sessions. Now we have several things that you need to know before to start these informative sessions. You need to know that you are mute and your video is turned off in all the moments. Don't forget, type your questions in the chats. We have an Education USA Advisors Q&A. And remember that this session will be available in our YouTube channel, that is Education USA Mexico, where you can find more resources for our Education USA advisors in Mexico. And remember that you have the option from English closed captioning is available. Now, the topic of this informative session is a study at US graduate degree, how to select your program. It's a really pleasure to be here with you today. My name is Alejandro Garcia. I'm an Education USA advisor from Mexico. I'm based at the Secretary of Education in Sonora State in Hermosillo, Sonora. So it's a really pleasure to be here with you. Sarah Tortella, that is Director of Graduate Recruitment from Kansas State University, and Nelofer Kamsani, and she's the Graduate Teaching Assistant from Kansas State University. Now, first of all, what is Education USA? So, Education USA is a global network of advising centers from US Department of State. Specifically, we are part of the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs. We offer accurate, comprehensive, and current information about the full range of accredited U.S. higher education institutions. And of course, we offer free access to introductory information on U.S. study, like right now in this informative session to graduate admissions. This is the most popular questions that the student asked us, like an Education USA advisors. Do you offer scholarships? No, we don't offer scholarships, but you need to know that we have the Opportunity Funds scholarships, that it is a program that provides an economic support to highly qualified students to cover to upfront costs to applying for an undergraduate or graduate program in U.S. institutions. Remember that candidates must have an academic profile suitable to be awarded for. Do you offer English courses? No, we not offer English courses, but you can find your Education USA advisor in your country or in your state, and he's going to provide more information about this, or can visit our WordPress page of Education USA, where you can find more information about your English. And now, do you have agreements with US institutions? No, and the same question, that is, do you offer support for an academic exchange? No, this is particular for a Mexican university. And now, this is our services that we offered our students. We have, Education USA have 5 steps to follow to how to study at the US higher education institutions. And now, the first step is research your options. The second step is finance your studies. The third step is complete your application. Remember, the fourth step is apply for your visa student, of course. And the 5th step is prepare for your departure, that it is a PDO that an Education USA advisor provide her advisee before he arrived at a university in United States. Now, we're gonna learn about the step 1, that is research your options. Remember that you have almost the 4,000 accredited higher education institutions in the United States, around the community college or universities, publics or private. Like in this case, we have the Kansas State University with 2 representatives or for the graduate college admissions. And remember, find a university that best fits your academic, financial, and personal needs. Remember that there is a process to 12 to 18 months prior to the academic year, but remember that you have an Education USA advisor that are with you in all these moments. And now define your priorities. You have a different college navigators or pages where you can find more information like pearsons.com or gradschools.com, where you can find more academic programs, specifically more academic programs and degree, graduate's degree. And now our step 2 is complete your application. And this step is so important. Your application's requirements. You need to know that you need to have an English proficiency test, and of course, complete your standardized admissions test. In this step, you need to complete your TOEFL, IBT, or your test of GRE, SAT, ACT, that after this slide, we're gonna talk more about these tests. Your essays, you need to complete your essays, your admissions essays from your applying requirement. Could be a statement of purpose, personal statement, or other kind of essay. Your portfolio, your letters of recommendations, your transcripts, that remember that all information that you're gonna give to the admission process, it's going to be in English. Your online application, that you can do it in the online page of the university or directly from the Common App. And remember, if you want to know more about this application, you can put your questions in the chat. And complete your application fee. Now, this is some examples from a standardized test. The most popular are IELTS. The cost is around $220, and you can find more information in her page, that is IELTS.org. TOEFL IBT, that the cost is around $200, and you can find more information in their page, that is TOEFL.org or ETS.org. Remember that Duolingo, it's a standardized test too, and the cost is around $49. And you can find more information in her page, that is englishtest.duolingo.com. And GMAT, that the cost is around $250, and the page where you can find more information is mba.com. And GRE, and the cost is around $205. And the page that you can find more information is in gre.org. Now, our step 3 is the finance your studies. In this step, we're gonna talk about the funding. Now, you need to have a financial planning. First, you need to start with your financial planning as early as possible. Now, you need to know that the cost of living on a student varies the cost of the United States. It's not the same live at the NYC or Florida or Arizona or California or wherever state that you decide start your applying process. And it's so important to identify ways to reduce your expenses, but the Mexicans, we are a professional in this step. And remember, you need to look for special opportunities and financial aid that we are talking and at the next slides. Send the financial aid application with your admissions application. This is some examples from the costs from application expenses, of course, are in dollars, your application's fee, your documents, your translations, your criteria, your credentials evaluations, of course, your standardized tests like a TOEFL IBT, IELTS, GRE, GMAT, SAT, ACT, and your test preparation. Now, in the next slide, we're gonna know about this study program and living expenses in the United States. We have the tuition and fees increased to 6 to 10% per year, room and board, university, student fees, medical insurance, travel costs, personal expenses, and we have a cost of attendance. Remember that the cost varies if this is a university public or private. And now, the financial aid by the nationality. For the Mexican citizens, we have a financial aid offered by the different organizations in Mexico that in the next slide, we want to talk more about this topic. And financial aid offered by the U.S. higher education institutions that are University, Kansas State, I think that are gonna talk more about this topic. Of course, for the U.S. citizen, if you are one of these, you can apply for a financial aid offered by the institutions and FAFSA. Remember that FAFSA is a federal program for the U.S. Department of State that offer different scholarships. And for the other nationalities, ask the Education USA Advising Center in your country for other sources or the financial aid. At the end of this presentation, we are gonna give you the link when you can find your advisor, your Education USA advisor in your state or in your country specifically. And now, the scholarships and loans, that it is so important part in your applying process. We have scholarships like Fulbright Garcia Robles, that remember Fulbright Garcia Robles is the COMEXUS, the Mexico United States Commissions that offer different scholarships from Mexican students. And this scholarships is from a graduate's degree. We have a graduate's degree, and of course, STEM regional scholarships. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the national themes, that is a new scholarships. And remember that these scholarships are open to the January or February to the next year. And CONACYT. CONACYT is a Mexican organization that offer different scholarships for Mexican students. So you can find more information about this topic in her page. And CONACYT offer different scholarships specifically for women, and American Association of Universities Women International Fellowships. Now, the Amelia Earhart Fellowship, and this is another organization where you can find more scholarships to complete your application process. And for the loans, we have FEDER, that is organization from the Mexico Bank. And this is the page when you can find more information, that is feder.org.mx, that have so much scholarship year to year. And of course, FUNED for loans for students accepted by a university. And you can find more information about this organization in her page that is funedmx.org. And OASPAN, interest fee loans for Latin American students. And this is the official page of OAS, that is oas.org/role, where you can find more information about the different loans that you can find. Now, remember, if you want to find more scholarships and loans, after this presentation, we're going to give you the link where you can find your Education USA Advising Center, when you can ask for more information of this. Now, I have the pleasure to present our Kansas State University representatives, that is Sara Tortella, Director of Graduate Procurement, and Nelofer Kanisani, that she is the Graduate Teaching Assistant. Nelofer Kanisani is a PhD candidate in Kansas State University, was a Graduate Research Assistant in Eastern Illinois University, and she's a Graduate Teaching Assistant, Curriculum and Instruction Department in Kansas State University, and volunteered at the Manhattan Technical College in ASL program. Sara Tortella, she was a program manager for recruitment and admissions. Master of Agribusiness, responsible for the recruitment and admissions process for the Master of Agribusiness Heritage cohort within the Agricultural Economics Department at Kansas State University. Main campus in Manhattan at the Master of Agribusiness Animal Health cohort at the Olathe campus in Olathe, KS. Now she's the Director of Recruitment in Kansas State University, responsible for the recruitment and admissions process for 169 graduate and doctoral degrees and certificates across 5 campuses. Sara, Nelofer, it's a really pleasure to be here with you. And now the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Education USA, for having us. This is a good opportunity for us for this information. We are very happy to deliver this information for international students, as I am an international student. So I'm very glad to be here with you. Okay, so I would start this presentation to explain about how to choose a graduate program. So pursuing a graduate education is not a small thing, it's a big investment. So it's critical to understand the unique thing, which is why you are going to go for the graduate program. If you are working, then why you are going back to school? If you have completed your undergrad, then what is your, the motive to go for further studies, go for higher education? Whether you are going for the specialization, for the specialized knowledge, or you want to change your career, or maybe earn a promotion, increase your salary potential, or so many goals could have. So this could be the thing you have to find out for yourself, that why you are going for higher education, for further studies. So for this, you have to explore programs, different programs, that what programs are available in different institutions, in what is your area of study, what you want to study, what types of degree programs are available. So for example, if you are going for the teaching profession, that what kind of programs are there in different universities, and what universities offer, the degrees in teaching, for example, the master's, the PhD, or EDD, or what you want to do. So these kind of research you, as a student, have to do to explore your area, to explore the program. It's also important to note the structure and focus of each program. After finding your goals and graduate programs, then you have to focus on each program. Okay, so go deep and explore more. Even in the same discipline, a program's focus can be vary among different institutions. When the program is same, but the focus could be changed. So does the curriculum emphasize theory, original research, or more practical applications of knowledge? Whatever your goal may be, make sure the program's focus align with educational experiences that will provide you the most value. Career changes, for example, who likely don't have industry experience might prefer a program with access to hand-on learning opportunities or a path for completing prerequisites. So a lot of things you have to explore before choosing a program. Okay, don't forget to keep your career goals in your mind. Okay, so what you want to do in your future. Why, like I said, you have to find the answer of why you want to go for higher education. If you are seeking a specialized area of focus, be sure to examine the program concentrations offered at each institution. One graduate program in education might prepare you to specialize in higher education administration or elementary instruction, while other institutions may offer concentrations in special education or classroom technology. So make sure the program you choose affect your career interests. So find your interest maybe. For example, some people choose business, some people choose engineering, maybe some people choose teaching. So a lot of things are around us, but we need to focus that what is our motive for future, what we want to do. So, and why we want to do. So different things are around, we have to choose one for us. Okay, so each student has to focus on these things. And the most important thing is duration of the degree. So duration of the degree is also a big thing to explore, that how much time do you have, how much time you want to complete this this degree. Okay, so this is also important. And another thing is make sure the program fits your lifestyle. See, this is very important. Okay, do you want a flexible? You need determine what level of flexibility you need. There are many options available that will allow you to earn an advanced degree at the right pace and in that right format of you. So some degrees can be earned in a short period of time, and some degrees can be earned in a long period of time. So it's not, it's a really very, sometimes people don't have time. They just want to finish something, a short course. They don't want to go for the full completion of the degree. So determine how much time you are willing to invest, considering your personal values, work and family commitments, and the type of graduate experience you'd like to have. So these all things are important to consider and keep in mind while selecting a program, a graduate program. So full-time graduate study is not for maybe for everyone. If you are working as a professional, you may benefit from increased flexibility provided by a part-time degree program. You might also consider the benefit of online, maybe face-to-face or hybrid graduate programs that provide access to worldwide institutions that may have otherwise not been an option. Okay, so another most important thing is finance. Consider your finance. Decide what you can afford to graduate school. And don't forget to factor in both upfront costs such as tuition, textbooks, hidden fees, or something, etc. So paying for graduate school can seem intimidating, but there are many different options available for you. Like scholarships, like graduate assistantships, like research assistantships. So many things are available. For example, Sarah, can you please change the slide?
I cannot. I believe that Alejandro needs to change the slide.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so different types of graduate programs are available. I'm going to give you here an example of the College of Education Department Curriculum and Instruction that they offer graduate certificate programs, okay, which is only for 15 to 20 graduate credits. Then master programs, 2-year programs. So it's kind of a little bit long-term, 2 years, it needs 2 years to complete. Okay, 30 to 42 graduate credits. Master program is based on research and applied business administration. Sorry. Okay, so we have the College of Education. I belong to College of Education, Department of Curriculum and Instruction. That's why I'm going to give you these kind of examples, which I can explain you. That like we have a graduate programs, like we have doctorate program, we have EDD program too. Okay, so what is doctorate program is long-term program, 5 years program, 90 credit hours we need for that. Okay, so master's program transfer into doctoral programs in most cases, okay? But EDD program is doctorate in education, a postmaster program similar to PhD without the dissertation type of requirement. So we don't need any dissertation for the EDD program. So see, in one college, in one department, different type of programs are announced. We need to go deep in that and research that what time is required and how much money we need for this program and how many credit hours do we need? Are we ready for the research or not? Or maybe like I said, if you want to go for academia, you need a doctoral program. If you want to go for something else like EDD program, you want to go for EDD program. Not a 5 years program, you can finish it within 3 years. So it's just really quick as compared to PhD. So different options we have. So please change the slide. Okay, so see, I told you about the EDD and PhD. There is a difference, okay? EDD is 3 years, PhD 4 to 8 years. EDD is available online, whether PhD is available face-to-face and hybrid in both situations. EDD, dissertation, integrated into coursework, okay. But in PhD, begins after coursework. You have to complete 60 to more than 30 credit hours, then you have to start a research work. You have to work for the dissertation. Okay, focus in research, more practitioner focus. So you will have to go for the practice work or the practice for the field work. And in PhD, you need research, and research. Okay, dissertation format in EDD, traditional, curricular, or collaborative. But in PhD, the format would be traditional. Career goals, what are the career goals? So what do we want to be? Okay, so after completing this program or after completing the degree, what do we want to do, what we can do. So we need to search the options, the career options. So we can contact different people for getting help in that sense if we don't know anything. Okay, so educators or leaders at any level, the EDD program. Then again in PhD program, educators or leaders at any level. So we have similar kind of degrees, okay, but different, time period is needed for them. Format, dissertation, research, everything is a bit different. So we need to find our interest, where we want to go. So these things are very important to focus on, to research on that and go in the deep and find the program, the creditors, maybe with the time limit and the finance and everything. Okay, can you please change the slide? Okay, so like in master's program, we have different options: elementary, reading or language art, reading is a specialist endorsement, and middle level or secondary level, curriculum instruction, educational technology, English as a secondary level. See, a lot of options we have. So we have to choose one for as what is our focus area, what I want to do. If I teach, then what do I teach right now, and what do we want to do in the future, where my interest will go. So something like that. Research is very important in that, to find out a program and then go for the process. If we are ready, okay, we found a program, okay, we went deep into that and select the courses and something, we look at the finance and everything. Now we are done. Okay, now go further. Now in other state. Okay, can you please change the slide? Okay, now we are done with our research as a student. Now we need a help with choosing a graduate program. We did research. We found our interest. We found a program. Okay, now help with choosing a graduate program. Read the information on graduate school website. Open the school where you are interested. Okay, where you have found your program. Now open that website of the school. Read the information of the graduate school's website. Okay, now don't forget to ask help if you need. If you need or not, just go and talk to them. Talk to the graduate school recruiters, maybe your advisors. Okay, talk to students and alumni. So many people are there who can help you in that sense, to give you more information. And maybe you could be surprised when determining your graduate school options. It's important to talk to current students and alumni. Okay, begin with creating some questions like, do you have enough academic and career guidance? What do you like or dislike about your program? So you need to create a list of questions maybe, and then talk to recruiters, talk to advisors, talk to students, talk to alumni. They can help you. They can tell you about the campus, about the program, about the department, about the faculty. So they can help you and they can guide you. Okay, so now another step. Now contact with the faculty. Okay, contacting with faculty would be faculty can make or maybe break your graduate school experience. Take the time to reach out to your potential professors and get to know them. Don't be afraid to ask specific questions about their background to see if it aligns with what you want to learn. So now this is point applied to universities that have one or more professors who focus on your area of interest. So different types of institutions are around us, but we need to find our interest and contact with the faculty. They may help us more to understand the things, understand the degree programs. Now, okay, Sarah, now your turn. Okay, so
Yes.
explain them about graduate school. Sarah is going to explain you about the graduate schools, what graduate school can do for their students.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nelafar. Alejandro, I noticed that we might be a little bit challenged for time, so I'm going to be moving a little bit faster. Thank you all for having me here today, joining you on this webinar. Many of the things I'm going to talk about, Nelafar and Alejandro already spoke about. So again, we're going to move a little bit quickly. As said before, I'm the Director of Recruitment for the graduate school here at Kansas State University. And I know you're going to have a lot of questions to ask of the institution or program that you're considering, and also to ask of yourself as you determine your own goals and career ambitions, and determining which program will help you, that you can pursue, and how it will fit your needs. Next slide, please. Kansas State University, for example, has 165 graduate programs. Our course offerings are across 4 campuses, and we are sure that we can meet your needs. We're joined together in diversity of thought and experience. Students, faculty, and staff at K-State are united in our commitment to solving issues that are affecting the future of societies across the globe by harnessing the collective power of technology, innovative learning, discovery, and engagement. So finding your path, once you've determined your own goals, if you go to a website such as ours, you're going to find an academic tab or something similar. It's going to, if you select a tab that says academics and you go to the area that says degrees and certificates, it's going to take you to the programs that you can explore, much like Nelafar talked about, really digging into each individual program so that you understand what we have to offer and how we can fit your goals. Like I said, most universities have similar websites and navigation processes, much like that of Kansas State University. Next slide, please. So again, exploring the programs, what programs are offered. As I talked about, Kansas State University has 4 campuses. So on the left of our specific website, you're going to see where you can select those campuses. As you are exploring the website of the institution or university that you are researching, make sure that you pay attention to what campus you are selecting. If you are wanting to be on their main campus, make sure that you're looking at programs on their main campus, as so many universities across the United States have multiple campuses that serve different needs for their students. So if you are looking to be a resident in a traditional program, you are likely wanting to look at a program that is on the main campus. For example, here at Kansas State University, that is our Manhattan campus. But our other campuses serve other needs. So again, make sure that you're looking at the individual campus, not just the program, so that you're sure that it meets your individual goals and needs as an individual person. Next slide, please. Be sure that the university or institution has leading faculty. You want faculty that create a strong, successful graduate school and graduate education for yourself. Again, knowing your own goals will help you to make that decision about which program best suits you, and looking at each faculty's bio will help you to know what publications and awards they have received, and will help you make a decision on which program to pursue based on the scope and niche expertise of the faculty member at that university or institution. Next slide, please. Before making your decision of which university or institution and individual program is best for you, you'll need to determine the answer to many questions. Like Nelifar talked about, is this the right degree to advance my career and fulfill my intellectual curiosity or knowledge? And what are the outcomes of students who complete this degree program? Knowing the answers to these questions will help you determine what program is best for you. So really, again, digging into these questions within your own ambitions, but also within the programs themselves. Next slide, please. Many students wonder if they'll be successful at graduate school. Graduate education does require more independent study than undergraduate coursework. Additionally, you must develop good time management skills and also a willingness to collaborate or network with peers and faculty. Additionally, to be fully admitted, you must have a 3.0 GPA on a 4-point scale at Kansas State University. Now, this may be a little bit different at other institutions or universities, but across the United States, these do seem to be fairly standard grade point averages on a 4-point scale. You'll want to also make sure that you understand what your undergraduate GPA is on a 4-point scale. Our university, for example, does allow provisional or probationary admittance, and students are moved to full admission after 1 to 2 semesters of maintaining high grades through their graduate coursework here at Kansas State University. Next slide, please. More questions to ask, as Alejandro spoke to. What are prerequisites and standardized tests? So do the programs require a GRE, GMAT, and also those language tests? So here at Kansas State University, for example, you must be proficient in English in order to be admitted to our graduate programs. So if you have not attended a university in the United States for your undergraduate coursework within the last 2 years, or if you do not come from an English-speaking country, then you will have to take those language tests. However, the majority of our programs actually do not require a GRE or GMAT to be admitted. We only have a few programs that still require those standardized tests, but those language tests are required. And again, what GPA, I just spoke about that. A 3.0 on a 4-point scale should be your goal in your undergraduate coursework. And there are ways around that with probationary admittance. Next slide, please. Financial questions to ask. Alejandro and Nelifar talked about these questions already, about how much does it cost and is there funding available? And also often we're asked about, do we need funding before receiving an I-20? And that answer is yes. So funding is very important once you get to that step in the process. Next slide, please. And again, how much does it cost? So Alejandro also spoke to this, but something I really wanted to make sure that I brought to everyone's attention is that in the United States, our institutions of higher education are required to be transparent in costs. So every institution will have pricing tools on their financial aid websites. Kansas State University, for example, we are right in the middle of the country, and we actually have a fairly reasonable cost, both for cost of living and for cost of tuition in comparison to other R1 institutions, particularly those in those coastal cities that Alejandro spoke to. So we tend to be a very reasonable institution when it comes to costs across the United States. Next slide, please. So funding opportunities, as kind of spoken about already, scholarships, fellowships, graduate assistantships, and external opportunities. There are various fellowships, scholarships, and grants available to provide financial support to our graduate students as they begin their graduate program. One of the funding opportunities that I would really like to speak to is graduate assistantships. Here at Kansas State University, we have a number of graduate assistantships, much like that Nelifar is participating in. So there are opportunities for our graduate students, both master's and doctoral students, to pursue graduate assistantships in research, in teaching, and general assistantship opportunities that will allow you to receive funding for your schooling. Those assistantships are very competitive, and we do have priority deadlines here at our university, and I'm sure at other universities, that really, if you're looking for an assistantship opportunity, you will want to make sure that you apply early to the programs and that you meet those priority deadlines. And additionally, that you are articulating in your application process why you would be a great candidate for one of these assistantship opportunities. Next slide, please. I just wanted to touch very quickly about our international student population. We have a very robust international student population here at our Manhattan campus, and we do offer a number of assistantships to many of our international students. So again, just making sure that we're highlighting that. Next slide, please. And what is life like on campus? So every campus has its own culture, and knowing if you'll fit is an important part of making your decision on which program you pursue. Most of us will choose based on academics, but also knowing that you have a strong foundation with the student population is very helpful to making a decision and understanding if you're going to fit in and feel comfortable, as often you are here at graduate school for 2 years or more. So before making a decision, determine if the university's policies and guidelines align with your own, and if the university offers resources and services that you need, as well as a holistic approach to a welcoming every student that fosters belonging. Next slide, please. Commitment to diversity and inclusion. Be sure that the institution is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion in their offerings of programming, intercultural learning, and extracurricular activities, so that they, again, are welcoming students from all across the globe in all walks of life. Before making your decision on a selection for your graduate program, be sure they're recognized for achievements, that they offer multicultural experiences that match your own needs. I can tell you here at K-State this week, these past weeks with the World Cup, we have had some amazing opportunities for students to get together and watch those World Cup games in the student union, and it has been a fantastic experience. So that's something that here at Kansas State University that our students have been doing all together as an international community. Next slide, please. And why graduate school at Kansas State University? We've just highlighted here on the map. Like I said, Kansas is right in the middle of the country. I know a lot of international students aren't really sure where Kansas is when we talk to international communities. So we're right in the middle of the country. Like I said before, we're an R1 research institution, and we are the nation's first land grant university. We have more than 40 doctoral programs, 4 educational doctoral programs, 78 master's programs, 53 graduate certificates, and a variety of emphasis areas. Kansas State University offers preparation for a variety of scholarly and research careers, as well as for a wide range of professional positions. Our goal is to meet you where you are, offering our graduate students a tailored experience to meet your individual needs in your academic program across all 4 campuses with resources for you to be successful. Next slide, please. I just wanted to highlight that K-State has been ranked as #1 for best quality of life across all universities here in the United States. So voted #1 for best quality of life for students, and this was voted on by our students. Proving that we care not only about our students' academic success, but their overall well-being, and providing them with the best possible resources. We're proud of our reputation for excellence, and the collective K-State family continually does its part to keep our reputation a reality. Next slide, please. We're always happy to connect with prospective students. So once you have an idea of which program best fits your goals, we encourage you to reach out to us. As you can see on the slide, this is our gradapply@ksu.edu email address, or you can contact me directly at stortella@ksu.edu. Next slide, please. And also our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We will be having, we have a webinar series that we are hosting here at K-State in the graduate school with information that goes deeper into what we talked about here today. So our next one is actually next Wednesday, the 7th of December, and we will be talking about how to apply to grad school here at K-State. So feel free again to reach out to us on social media. And then next slide, please. Oh, do we not have that? I'm sorry. I believe that is it for me today. So I will hand it over to Alejandro. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Sarah, Director of Recruitment in Kansas State University, and of course, Nello Camisani, Graduate Teaching Assistant and Curriculum and Instruction in Department in Kansas State University. Now, it's the turn to Elizabeth Arroyo, Q&A EducationUSA advisors that have some questions for our representatives of Kansas State University. Elizabeth, the floor is yours.
Degree.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. We can hear you. Can you repeat the question again? Elizabeth, can you hear us?
Hi, can you listen to me now?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, oh, great. Thank you. Yes, the question here is following. Is it possible to study into a PhD program without studying a master's degree?
So yes, there are some programs that are doctoral programs, but that last several years. For example, we have a psychology master's degree here at Kansas State University that you started directly after your undergraduate degree, but it is a PhD program. So there are some doctorate programs that are that you enter them directly after your bachelor's degree. However, they do take more time than the traditional master's degree. They really take about the same amount of time as those long doctoral programs. So you're really looking at about 6 to 8 years in those programs.
Okay, thank you. The next question is the following. How can I prepare myself in order to apply for Can you listen to me now?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, the next question is as follows. How can I prepare myself in order to apply for a PhD, to start a doctoral degree? Like recommendations you can give to me.
Elifar, would you like to answer this, or would you like to?
Sure. Yes, sure. Okay. So for the application process or for preparing yourself for the PhD program, as I am from the Department of Curriculum, so I will give you the example that for the PhD in curriculum and instruction, if you are teaching, if you are in academia, or if you have experience, teaching experience, or it doesn't matter which department you are, what is your focus, but if you want to pursue your teaching in higher education, you can go for the for PhD program. For that, you should have your master's degree, okay, and research interest. For application process, you need recommendations, your transcripts, and a sample of your writing. And it depends on different universities that some universities require GRE score. So that is also important to have that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nelifar. Elizabeth, we have other questions for our Kansas State University.
Thank you. Okay, can you listen to me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm having some internet issues right now. Okay, and the last question is, which programs in your university offer a PhD program?
So as I mentioned before, we have over 40 doctorate programs. So as I pointed out, and I know that Alejandra will send out the slide deck, if you go to our website, which is ksu.edu/grad, and you go to that academics tab and go to the degrees and certificates, you can click right there and see all of our doctoral programs. We are actually growing. I believe I said 169 programs. We may be beyond 175 at this point. So we have a plethora of opportunities for doctoral programs.
Yeah, I would like to say here something like different institutions have different offices which can help you graduate students. Like in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, we have global education outreach program for the students, for graduate students who want to apply for master's, for PhD, or for EDD. We help them in the process, in the application process, in the admission process. So different institutions have different offices to help the students. Just contact the university, graduate school, or department, or the faculty. So anyone can help you, for the process, or give you the proper contact information for different people you need. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nelifar, and thank you so much, Sarah Fertella, for these Q&A sections. Of course, thank you so much, Elizabeth Arroyo, EducationUSA advisor from Guadalajara, for your support. And of course, thank you so much, all the advisors that are with us today, and all the students that want to know more about this application process, specifically how to study a U.S. graduate degree in the United States. This is our social media pages. We have Facebook, EducationUSA Mexico, Twitter, EducationUSA Mexico, Instagram, EducationUSA MX, and of course, we have a WordPress page that this is bit.ly slash EducationUSA MX, where you can find more resources about how to study at U.S. higher education institution. And remember, we're gonna send this recording at your email, and you can find this recording in our Education USA YouTube Mexico tomorrow. So thank you so much for your attendance. Thank you so much to Kansas State University, of course, again, Nelofar and Sarah for being here today. And of course, the Education USA advisors that are support this session. Now, to the end of this presentation, I'm gonna reproduce our first video for all you. So,
Want to study in the USA? There are 5 steps may have your attention. Education USA, your official source on US higher education.
Why your advisors are here to make the process clear. Get the 5-step finish application square. Hey, and get your ear to there. Online centers are free in every study. Find a center near you in your country.
Education USA, your official source on US higher education.
thank you so much, Nelofar, Sarah, and thank you so much all the attendants that are here in these sessions. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alonso. Thank you very much.